What's up, everybody? It is Friday, April 18th.
It's Friday!
Pack of the week.
Pack of the week!
We are talking about labels and are they packaging? You know, some of us up here don't believe they are. Some of us up here don't believe they are. So we're going to get to the bottom of
Labels
it.
are packaging.
Adam's got his own personal Snapchat filter, which is pretty amazing.
That is awesome.
Thank you.
So
Infinitely
before we get started
recyclable.
here, throw it in the comments. Do you believe packaging includes labels? You think labels are stickers? Do you think
I'm
labels
ready.
are
I have props.
Or can they be both?
I'm ready to use this.
All right. What do you got?
Hey.
What do you got, Adam?
I got all sorts of things here. I'm ready to debate this. So here, let me tell you why before we start talking to our robot, why labels are definitely packaging. And it's because I'll present my case as a lawyer. The purpose of packaging is there's a lot of
the floor,
right? So number one is it needs to be protective of the product. There has to be some sort of barrier. There has to be some sort of way to transport the product, right? Like that's functional or foundational. And it has to clearly communicate what the product actually is, right? There has to be some sort of for like product-based packaging.
Identifier. Yes.
Right. So like, for example, this bottle that I have here. No, it's not as
great package.
Yeah, this is a bottle from, I don't know, just a brown bottle, right? So you have no idea. You don't know what's inside there. No one's just going to buy that brown bottle.
That's the surprise.
If I were to,
It's a new beer line.
if I were to take this and slap it on there, you'd be like, oh, this is 19 Crimes Cali Gold. It has a UPC code on it. It's got a QR code on it. All of the things that are necessary for this to be bought and sold and consumed happen because of the label.
So I don't know. Do you
also
if you're watching this? Do you think labels are packaging or not?
What is this?
I don't know. It's like a chocolate that you're touching with your fingers. How disgusting!
Yeah, you don't know until now. This is not a label, right? This is a midday square, but I don't know what it is until you see the packaging, because you have to have something that communicates.
That's protecting the product, right? That's what packaging does.
I know, but it also has to communicate. This is protecting the product.
You could put,
but no one is saying that folding cartons aren't packaging. But all this is doing is communicating the information. You'd have no idea what this was. But for the folding carton or the flexible packaging, so folding cartons are packaging, flexible films are packaging, labels are packaging. Debate ended. Is this water? Is this vodka? Or maybe it's Mamachari raw kombucha mint lime. You don't know.
All right, here's the thing.
Oh no.
You'll never know.
With those bottles, you could etch directly on them. You could laser etch directly on them what they are. So you don't have to have a label.
You could digital print. You could screen print.
Yeah.
Of course, you don't have to have a label.
So here's what we did. And by we, I mean
regretting that choice.
Yeah. Now you got peanut butter and chocolate. And that's good. All right. Here's what we did.
At least I have this vodka.
I went through Google Gemini, and I had to do deep research. So you can go to Google. You can go to gemini.google.co.com and ask it to do deep research about anything specific that you want. So if we wanted to do deep research about midday squares, for example, it'll take 10, 15 minutes to go through everything online, pull up all the different references, cross-check all the information, and then come back to you with like, here's everything about that particular product. You can then take that. That's a good question. That's a good question, Chris. We'll have to ask that here in a minute.
That's another show, Chris. Yeah.
No. I think we can ask that, but we can take the information from Google Gemini, drop it into Notebook LM, which is what you're seeing over here, and ask it to create a podcast about anything. You take your kid's notebook, textbook, throw it in there, and have it just become a tutor essentially.
Incredible.
I'm trying to outsource all my parenting, but this will like do that, and then you can ask it questions. So it wasn't working quite yesterday, but I figured it out.
You're tuned in for another deep dive, and today we're getting straight into something that sounds simple, but maybe isn't.
Mhm.
Is that label on your juice bottle, your cereal box, whatever? Is it just a sticker, or is it actually, part of the packaging?
So we can
Seems
stop
like a
it
small detail,
and
doesn't it?
ask any
But,
questions.
how we answer that actually has some
Adam,
pretty
what
big
questions do you have on labels?
Right, like it affects costs, how things are made, even how sustainable products are. It touches a lot.
How does a
Exactly.
label impact
We've
recycling?
gathered a bunch of different perspectives, kind of like a shortcut. Oh wait, someone wants to join. Hey, go for it.
Hey, how does a label impact recycling?
That's a really important point you bring up.
Absolutely, it really does.
We were just about to get into how regulations view
Very
labels.
encouraging.
And you'll see that
It
what you're
really is.
saying
It's
is
super
definitely
positive.
factored
They
in.
need a
Because
jerk
when we
on
talk
him.
about the EU, their packaging and packaging waste
The
regulation,
PPWR.
Mhm.
exactly, it puts a huge
Yes,
emphasis on
PP.
recyclability,
Right, we touched on that earlier.
and the
Classic.
label plays a big role in that.
How so?
Well, under PPWR,
So,
labels on packaging have to
it
tell
gives
you
you
what the
pretty
material is.
detailed
Oh, that makes sense for
information.
sorting.
Exactly.
Let's
It
ask,
also needs to say how recyclable it is.
So
let's
you know what
ask
to do with it.
Chris's question
Precisely.
here.
And sometimes
Yeah.
even sorting instructions.
Wow, so the
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
Chris Olson has a question, which is aluminum infinitely recyclable?
Be careful.
that's a great question, Chris. It definitely ties into what we're talking about with packaging and its end of life.
Yes, it absolutely does. And while we're focusing on labels today,
Yeah,
the
stay on subject.
recyclability of the
Stay on
packaging
topic, Chris.
material itself is crucial.
So to answer your question, aluminum is pretty amazing in that it can be recycled over and over again without losing its properties.
Exactly. Unlike some other materials, the
Oh.
quality doesn't really degrade through multiple recycling processes.
So
Good
in that
sidestep.
sense, you could say it's infinitely recyclable. It's a big part of why aluminum is considered a more sustainable packaging option.
And labels play
What's
a role
next,
here too. Of course, they often need to be compatible with the aluminum recycling process.
For example, certain label adhesives.
I'm
Oh,
bored.
yeah. Go on.
Hey, there's this guy, Adam Peak, who's asking if labels are packaging or are they just stickers? And if you can answer it in the shortest amount of time possible.
We only have 10 minutes.
That's a really direct question, Adam.
Yeah, we can definitely give you the quick version.
In a nutshell, while labels might seem like stickers,
And they do stick, obviously.
they are actually considered an integral part of the packaging system.
Not
Let's
just an add-on.
Think information, legal stuff, branding.
And regulations.
So, I don't know, this is pretty interesting.
Seems like a W for Adam.
I don't think so.
I'll be celebrating with my.
Yeah. Out for debate. Still.
Sometimes you just need to unwind shirts with copy positions for labels on the back. Go pick them up
I
at
love that.
packagingfashion.com.
I know about those.
So I don't know, are labels packaging? If you go to any packaging design awards website, there's no space for labels.
Yes, there is.
Hmm.
No, it's not.
There is. There's plenty of awards given out for best label and label printing through
Is
various.
At label
okay.
shows or
Are those like packaging
Sustainability.
design? Are those packaging design contests or are those
What about the
Packaging.
Coca-Cola? What about the Coca-Cola label that you could
Mm.
pull and it turned into a Christmas ribbon?
Mhm.
that's cool.
That was award winning. The Share a Coke campaign was award winning. That was digitally printed labels across it. It was a huge project.
Yeah, it was cute.
For labels. You've got all sorts of compliance and regulatory things that have to happen with booklets. I once designed a label that was on a tiny 5 ml container that had 16 different languages with a 8-page booklet on it where we had to split cut the base.
Oh my
You guys
gosh.
are crazy, and I'm winning, and it feels good because that's all I do. All I do
Congratulations.
is win.
All you do is win.
Yeah, no matter what.
Very
Yeah, I don't know.
Wait, can I show the back of my shirt? Is this
Mm.
Yeah,
possible?
let's see it.
Hang on.
That's such a label nerd shirt.
I love it. Yeah, we see the top 4.
I'm just making sure because I don't have any pants on, so I just didn't want to, make this the rating go up. It's like kids. This
Are
one's
shorts
rated.
packaging? Is that true?
It's rated. And
Yeah.
I mean, clothes are human packaging.
Pants are packaging. Yeah.
So Rich wants to know, can labels communicate environmental impact effectively?
Yes.
Yes.
Richard.
And they can
Labels can do
affect
everything.
the environmental impact and the sustainability, I think.
But if they're plastic labels, does that
If they're the
they're
same
plastic
plastic,
labels
labels
make
on
poly-
aluminum,
We can make polypropylene labels from paper. It's true.
you can make polypropylene labels
from
paper.
material. Yep.
What does that even mean?
UPM Raflatac makes a label material that the polypropylene is derived from the lignin waste and the pulping process.
Mhm.
So it's a non-fossil fuel derived polypropylene label that comes from the paper making process. It's called forest film. It's pretty sweet.
Wow. Turning
Yeah.
paper into plastic. Who would have thought that
I know.
that would be something you want to do? We're trying to
I mean,
eliminate
I'm
plastic.
sure I was talking to somebody the other day about, like seaweed obviously has a ton of potential, I think,
Mhm.
when it comes to making various film structures. There's obviously a lot of paper structures. There's over like 100 different adhesives
Mhm.
for labels because they have to apply to the packaging. What are we looking at here?
We're looking at the Pent Awards and their categories. You know what we don't see?
I see a lot of labels,
But it's not an award for a label.
but the label is part of it.
Yeah, it's just like the die cut's part of it. You don't get an award for a die cut.
The cutting die tool. Now we're no, the label is actually, look at that bottle. Take off that label that won the award for
Mhm.
all of those bottles, and that thing ain't winning an award.
Beautiful.
That label is part of the packaging. I mean,
Yeah, like look at that yellow bottle, the yellow label on that bottle. That's stunning.
see, Corey's coming around.
I'm on the fence.
So many labels are winning awards
part
on
of it,
this. I'm
but you're
so
not
glad you brought this
winning.
up.
But you're not winning an award for the label. It's not.
It's part
That's
of the packaging. It is actually the packaging. That's like saying you're not winning the award because of the glass. You're not winning the award because of the cork. You're not winning the award.
You're coming
because of the
around.
ink.
You're
You're not
coming
winning
around.
the-
You've got
But all of
exactly.
that is part of the packaging. That is the
Exactly.
actual material that's part of the packaging.
Awards are labels.
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
Yeah. See,
I think Chris is right. We've been looking at this backwards. Awards
right.
are labels.
this
Yeah.
has like a self-adhesive strip underneath there.
And
You're not
you
winning an award for
understand
the adhesive strip.
the too much label and misinformation. I mean, the Tag and Label Manufacturing Institute, they do label awards every single year. I have won
Once-
label awards. there.
Once again, TLMI is not a packaging design competition. And I think
we
this
are
is kind of-
we are
this is-
literally
this
looking
is-
right now. Look at connected packaging, brand identity, connected packaging. How many labels do you see? 1, 2, 3, 4.
There are
5.
labels, but it's not a specific award. Like, hey, great job on the label.
What is the award then? we're just saying that design is packaging. Is that it? It's just design. You don't have to actually make it. You don't have to print it. You just have to design it and it wins awards. That's
Yeah.
not actually design. Is not
These
here.
are concepts.
here,
None of these were
Here.
actually made.
Listen to this one, Avelio. Listen to this one. Ready? Design is not packaging. Packaging
Ooh.
design is not packaging. It's just design. That's all it is. Without the
fighting
actual manufacturing of it, it's not packaging. It's just an art file. It's just a CAD file. It's just a digital file.
Let's talk about
Mic
corrugated.
drop. Boom.
And see, this
Thank
is
you, everybody.
where the challenge
Thank
happened, right?
Oh, the winning feels so good.
This is where the challenge happens. I think from a design perspective, if you're not winning a Pent Award, if you're not winning like a Dylan Award, if you're not winning something that's specific to the design, all those other awards, meh. But those don't count,
Who is
they
it
just
meant
don't.
for?
What's that? Who are those meant for?
No. When you say it's just meh, like who are you saying it's meh? Just for like the people who want
Those
to
are
win
the-
awards for designs?
Those are the ones that can't win for design, so they win
They
for
do
like
win for design. They just don't win at the Pent Awards. That's like saying the best NFL football player. It doesn't matter because he didn't win MVP of the NBA. It's like
look at all this packaging on my coffee.
Yeah, look at that. His coffee cups are covered in packaging.
Exactly.
Oh, got so much packaging on it.
All the packaging.
It's way overpackaged. Way overpackaged.
By the way, I'm winning in the comments. I'm winning in life. I even came prepared with props. I was ready for this fight, and I think I think it was, besides the Russian judge, this was a clear sweep.
This is always a long shot.
Even the robots, even the internet agreed with me. Like, what are we doing?
I don't know. I'm not convinced.
TBD.
Yeah,
you're still not. You're
my kids have a little notebook from their little of packaging. All the little packaging stickers that they would.
There are stickers. Listen, stickers are stickers, and labels are packaging. How about we just say that?
What's the difference?
A sticker is meant to it'll come on a sheet or it'll come on a roll, and it is used as a product. It's just its own product.
On sheets and rolls.
They do. But
thank you. Boom.
They do
right there.
But a sticker is its own. A sticker is its own thing, right? It's just a product. You just buy the sticker to use as a sticker. A label is run through a machine. It is an integral part of packaging.
Definitely re-listen to this, and you can hear how labels are stickers.
You got destroyed, Avelio. You got. If this was an MMA fight, it would have been round 1, 30 seconds in. I had you in the reverse chicken hold or whatever the moves are called.
That's my favorite hold.
Yeah. So once again, labels are stickers. Adam agrees. Labels are not packaging. So thank you for the comments.
Aluminum is not infinitely recycled. We could all agree on that, right?
Make sure to buy stickers from Adam, and you need
so like Corey says, Avelio won. I'm right. Let's all celebrate. Hey, what do you got? What do you got? What do you got, Adam?
What do I have?
The
victory on here tasted almost as good as my what did I eat? My midday square bar. That was actually really tasty. Shout out to Jake.